Hey everybody, it's me, Cicely Renee, and it is Saturday night, just chilling. And right now I'm doing a little series called 20 Lessons that I've learned in my 20s. And I recently turned 30 and I was, reflecting on life, like what I've done. I would title my 20s the Roaring 20s. I feel like I went through a lot of stuff. I've learned a lot. I've grown a lot. And I'm just thinking that, the lessons that I've learned, maybe I can share it and, help someone out, as they are entering their 20s or still in their 20s. Just enjoy your 20s. Oh my gosh, I miss it, but I know my 30s have so much more in store for me. The Roaring Twenties, also known as the preparation years. Okay, so prepare me for what's next in life, the next level. But anyway, so I'll give you a few more lessons that I've learned in my 20s. So the last video, I ended off on saying that I was in Walt Disney World, doing this college program, this college internship program, and for me, it was more like just taking a break from school, taking a semester off, working a lot of hours, paying rent and all this stuff, and just taking the break that I needed away from my first years of college. I was making $7.25 an hour, and I had to pay my rent, and so I wasn't making much money, and I was kind of struggling. I stayed in this apartment with like five other girls, so two girls per room. And it was really cool. I enjoyed myself a lot. It was actually three black girls, three white girls. My roommate actually was my friend, Cardell from college, and we're still friends to this day. And then there was another girl and two. I won't get into names, but anyways, but there's one particular girl that kind of stood out to me, because I was spiritual. Like I grew up in the church, and there's a young lady who was like, "Yep, I'm a virgin. I'm staying a virgin till I'm married," And she was from Louisiana, and she was just totally amazing. She did Bible study. She was serious about her relationship with God, and that inspired me. Like, oh my gosh. So it was 2000, what year was that? 2005? And so she is from Louisiana, and we got there at the end of August, okay? And so lesson number one is to stay faithful to God despite what you go through. So the end of August 2005, that was Hurricane Katrina. So she's living with us in Orlando while Hurricane Katrina was happening. Her family, like, I can't imagine. I can't tell you like what it was like to just sit there and listen to her on the phone, talking to her family, seeing if they're okay, or finding like just figuring out what was happening. But she never doubted God. She never cursed God. She never did anything where, um, God would like she would put God in a place where it just was dark for her. But she stayed faithful. She was a big and strong influence on my life. I don't think I've ever told her this either, but if you're listening, girl, you really inspire me, and I really looked up to you, and you were younger than me, so that speaks a lot for itself. Just knowing that God is so faithful to us when we do wrong, and just staying faithful to Him. So remember that God is always there for you, despite what you go through. Um, the next lesson. So with my friend, she was like, I don't celebrate Halloween. And I never celebrated Halloween really either. Like maybe when I was younger, but we didn't go out trick or treating, like everybody else. We didn't dress up. Um, but like for some reason, I think my roommates and some other friends, they wanted to go, out for Halloween. We're still in Orlando, the Walt Disney World. We didn't do too much, but the next lesson that I learned was that, the devil and his minions and his demons are so real. Like, I went out on Halloween just trying to kick it, kind of fitting in, trying to fit in, and something happened to me that night. It was more like a spiritual, like a demonic spirit that kind of latched onto me, and I believe in that stuff, but it was really terrifying. Like it really messed me up, and I kind of changed my life probably because of that, and I just remember just thinking, Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. I couldn't get it off, and then all of a sudden it just lifted off of me, and then I fell asleep, and I could really see. I think that was a time where I really saw evil and good, and God and the devil, and life and death. So just know it's real, and it ain't no light. It ain't for lightweights. I'll tell you that much. Um, So I worked at Disney Quest, which was a 5-story virtual amusement park, which was the coolest place ever. Had lots of arcade games, and I think there's like 8 virtual um, rides that people were able to participate in. And we because I worked at Walt Disney World, and this was from they brought people from all over the world. The next lesson I'll teach you or let you know that I learned was to get out of the box. People tend to flock to what they know, who they look like, people that they are more familiar with, and I did that, but then I also allowed myself to be open to other people, open to other nationality, ages, all that good stuff, religions too. So like my coworkers, there was like this older lady who was just amazing, and I miss her, and I wish I would have been able to stay in contact with her. She was the coolest older lady. So I think she was in the college program as well. Um, which was cool. So she was a non-traditional college student, and she had been like 47. She was in her 40s, and I'm like in my early 20s. But age was not there. And then there was this like cool white guy. I can't remember his name either. Oh my gosh! And just a lot of other people that I exposed myself to. Um, there was this one day where two of my people that I was allowing myself to be exposed to, they were like, "Yeah, let's go see a movie," and I was like, "Okay, let's go see a movie," and it was called Walk the Line, and I was like, "What is Walk the Line? I know nothing about Walk the Line." And they're like, Johnny Cash. Don't you know who Johnny Cash is? I was like, no, I don't know who Johnny Cash is. And, I'm sitting there eating, some calamari in the movie theater. And, I was just like, oh, this movie is so dry, so boring. But then, as time progressed, like, I was like, this movie is awesome. And then found out that one of my new favorite songs was Ring of Fire. So I love that, and I am so glad that they exposed me to even a new type of music. Like I don't think I listened to. I don't even know what that type of music is called, but I love the Ring of Fire, and and I tried calamari for the first day, and that was amazing too. Except for the little baby squids, where it's still like the head and the little tentacles. I don't like that. Just give me the little rings, and we're good to go. Anyways. So I completed the Walt Disney program. It was just 5 months, August to January. Yep, right after Christmas, and I moved back to Minneapolis. With my mom, and Malik was living with us, which is my little cousin, and she bought him a dog, and I was like, "What?" I wanted a dog, but she never bought me a dog, but it's all good, and I love my dog, and we recently lost him. I think it was about 6 years ago, but I'm still like, what happened to my dog? But anyway, and the last lesson I've learned in that little era right there was that hard work pays off. Like I worked at Walt Disney World program, and it was a lot of hours, and I don't think I've ever worked as much in my life ever. I was probably working 50, 60 hours a week, and just learning that work ethic and the experience, being able to have good customer service, talking to other people, building relationships. Um, so when I moved back to Minneapolis, like I was able to get a job like right away, and I expressed them how, everything that I learned from the program, and it just they were like wowed, just by my hard work and commitment, and you know moving to Orlando kind of on my own and just living it up and just really succeeding in that area of life. All right, this is the end of section 2, part 2 of 20 lessons that I've learned in my 20s. So go watch the next one. Y'all have a blessed evening or morning or whenever you're watching this. Have a blessed day.